I'm not sure you want to see that either, but there I am. Hey, y'all, what's happening? Good morning. Welcome to Monday. It is Monday. It is August the 1st. It is the day that I told you guys was coming. Here it is. Kids are starting back to school all over the place. Um, they're starting school all over the place. Mine's up in the shower. I've got one starting this morning. Wilson County School starts back, so Cade's headed back. Oops. Cade is headed back today, so looking forward to him getting started in school. And I know that down there, I know Zeke and Carson are also starting back today. Hart County starts back, so Zeke and Carson are starting back. So told you all this day was coming. I hope that hopefully, let's see here. And I'm guessing that's you. That's let me see. Let me see. I'm waiting for my other side to catch up. Can't see the comment. Oh, we're on that one. Sorry. Hang on one second. Let me get myself situated here. I'm on the wrong stream on my iPad. So, Anna, I hope you had a great weekend. I hope everything was fantastic for you. I don't know where all your friends are. All of our friends are. But they are not here. Only you're here. So we'll let's see. Bam. Oh, there we go. Now I'm good, Anna. Now I can see everything. There we go. All right, there's another one. Oh, it's still you. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I ended up staying in Tennessee, as you can see. Didn't drive back to Georgia over the weekend. I was gonna had thought about going back on Friday and then spending the weekend and coming back here on Sunday, but just with Friday and Thursday night and Friday morning, things didn't happen the way they should happen, so I stayed here. Ever have one of those mornings where you wake up and you don't have coffee? This is one of those mornings. I had to scrape grounds out of the leftovers from where I grind my beans every single morning. So this morning was I woke up at like 5:05 and opened my eyes and I went, oh my gosh, I don't have coffee this morning because I forgot to get it yesterday. But luckily, I've got some backup Keurig cups. But this coffee I made with the grounds that were in the leftover ground, so it tastes like it ought to have a pink ribbon on it. This kind of coffee you serve like an 8-year-old. Christy accuses me of making navy coffee, but I like my coffee with a little flavor. So get going. Let's get going. Where's everybody at? I don't know. Let's shoot a little text message here. And good morning. I'm gonna send a little good morning text. Well, good. I'm glad you had a great weekend. Of course, I mean, so you still have one. Is John Michael still in school? Is he in college now? Seems like he's college age, isn't he? Yep. Okay. So you're not doing back to school shopping. It's funny. You don't know what you got till it's gone. And school shopping, I don't know. I guess I always enjoyed back to school shopping when I was a kid. And now I've got a senior in high school who, um, says, "Dad, I need to go back to school shopping." I said, "When do you want to go?" And he goes, "Dad, I don't need you to go with me. I can do it by myself." And I'm like, "Ooh, gosh, um, I've done that for the last time with him." Jagger still loves shopping, so I've still got some time with him. But Cade's out of it now, and um, I'll never forget. And Jagger now getting ready for hockey. Used to, as a hockey dad, we'd be in the locker room and tying skates and helping with pads and helping tape up, and all the hockey dads and some hockey moms are in there getting their kids ready for the game or for practices and tying skates. And I remember thinking there's going to be a time when I've tied Jagger skates for the last time, and I'm never going to tie his skates again. And there's coming a time where you're never going to take your kids school shopping again, where you're never going to get to do that again because they're going to be self sufficient. There's a point as a parent and as a teacher, where you've done all you can do, and then they go do it, and there's a moment of sadness when mama bird watches baby bird jump out of the nest and fly. I'm certain there's a moment of sadness. And dads aren't really that's not really dad's thing. But every other week, hell, basically Christy's a single mom and I'm a single dad. We support each other on the phone and support each other from two separate states. But during the fall and during school, we're basically single parents a week at a time. And um, you know I'm taking Cade school shopping for the last time. He didn't need my help anymore. I've tied Jagger skate for the last time. I mean, he doesn't need me anymore. He walks in the rink with his bag on his shoulder and walks in the locker room, and it's like I don't see him again till they hit the ice. Um, so there's a piece of that is sad, that you do miss, that you do, and then you see the little kids and watch the parents all over the look. I'm like, man, was I like that? Was that? And I'm sure I was, but um, you do miss it. You do miss it. It's a missable thing for sure. Who else joined us? We got two visitors. Boy, where is everybody at on this Monday? It is August 1st, man. Everybody should be clamoring to be on this call with you. Get on here and get some good juju. And I'm gonna go get started. I don't know where everybody is, but hopefully, you can round the troops up for later to late. Maybe they're coming or later in the week. Maybe they'll be there. But I'll go ahead and get started. I don't know necessarily what I talk about other than here we are. We're at this place now where our schedules are going to change. We're in this place now where where we're starting to transition from the summer mode into the fall mode. We're trying to start a transition this next 2 or 3 weeks. Good morning, Michelle. This next 2 or 3 weeks is going to be a big transition from summer us to winter us to hey y'all, what's happening, Lynn? Good morning. Um, we start transitioning from summer mode, having a real unstructured schedule to fall mode, winter mode, school mode, where we have a very structured schedule, most of us. So as we transition into this thing that we're doing, I really want you guys to focus on making sure that you are taking care of you in the beginning. I am the more I read, the more I do, the more I every day that I do something else on this planet, I realize the importance of self care, of self management, of making sure you're good, and making sure you're good is has got to be paramount, especially if you're a leader, especially which all of you are, by the way. Especially if you have people that are looking to you for guidance, you have people that are looking to you for direction, even if it's your kids. You got to make sure you're putting your best foot forward. You got to make sure that you're taking care of you. You got to make sure that you're managing you, that you are. that you are loving you, that you are connected to where you're supposed to connect. Because that's really the only way that you can't give what you don't have. You can't give what you don't have. And if you're not full, if you're not connected, if you're not walking in the direction you're supposed to walk, it's going to be very difficult for you to give that to someone else, even if it's your child. I'm telling y'all, kids these days are smart AF. They are. These kids are so much smarter at 9, 10, 11, 12. They have so much more knowledge. They have so much more experience. They're exposed a lot of times to a lot of bad stuff, but they're exposed to so much more. I mean, I remember at 8, 9, 10 years old, we still had a phone on the wall with a cord on it. And your conversation only went as far as that cord would let you go. Now I've got a 10-year-old with a cell phone who can go outside and walk around the block and be on the telephone. I have no idea what he's talking about. Right? If you wanted a private conversation, I remember having girlfriends, man, they wanted a private conversation. Their parents had a 75-foot cord on the phone in the kitchen, or they were bougie and they had a phone in their room, you know. But even the phone in their room, the parents monitored that. But now kids don't have that, man. Now kids they walk around with a computer in their hand, and they watch TikTok and they watch YouTube and they watch these things all day long, and they're exposed to so much more. So even your kids, and even if your kids don't have one, the kids they go to school with do, right? Even if your kids don't have a phone, now they're getting into school. Now they're spending 6 or 7 hours a day with kids that do. So my point is, our kids, our less than 15-year-olds, hell, our less than 20-year-olds are so much smarter. They're exposed to so much more than kids were that I was when I was 15, 16, 14, 13, 12. My world was very, very small. Our children's worlds they're unlimited, they're enormous. So we've got to make sure if we're going to lead them in the right direction, we've got to make sure that we're full. We've got to make sure that we are taking care of us, because these kids are smart and they see through BS. They really do. They see through bull crap. Hell, they watch TikTok videos all day long. They know, well, that's fake. That's not real. That's real. That's fake. I mean, that's what they do. At 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, that's what they're doing. So we have to make sure that we're taking care of us. Michelle and Lynn, I was telling Anna a second ago, I don't have my regular coffee cup because I woke up this morning at like 5:05. The realization hit me that I didn't have any coffee, that I had ground my last batch of beans yesterday for my coffee, and forgot to get coffee yesterday. And by the time I got home, I remembered to get water and paper towels, but I forgot coffee. And so I had to dig around, and because I ground my beans, I always have leftover, and I put that in a little coffee thing. And so I had to scrape the bottom of that to get my coffee. So now my coffee tastes like it's got a pink bow on it. It tastes like it's a little small girl, a little small baby child. That's what my coffee tastes like this morning, which I'm not a fan of. But I'm drinking out of a very small cup, so I don't go through it so fast. Because my big gulp coffee cup would consume everything in that pot right now. So if y'all excuse me, I'm gonna get me a little more coffee, and I'll be right back, and we'll keep rolling. Oh, hey Michelle, when does Violet start back to school? Does she start back this week? Yeah, I thought about that, but then I had to be up and be on the call, and so I didn't. If I'd have gone to Starbucks or someplace down the road to get coffee, it'd been too late. So um, maybe later. I'll go get some coffee after Kay goes to. Oh, so Violet starts today. Well, happy first day of first grade, Miss Violet. Isn't that right? She's in first grade this year. So stinking cute. So awesome. Watch these little kiddos grow up. They get big. Sorry, y'all. Let me get that. Oh, there we go. All right. So you'll know I've been reading. I read two, three, or four books at a time, and so right now, I bought this Warrior of the Light book based on another book. You're welcome. You're welcome, sweetie. So you'll know I read two, three, four books at a time, and a lot of times. So what's happening now is, you read certain authors, and those authors then will give you other authors, and through their book, they reference other authors, and they. So I'm kind of doing that right now. So if I read a book and I really like the book, and that author then references another author and another book that I ought to get, I just buy the book. That's how I ended up with The Warrior of the Light, and it's really really cool. I've enjoyed this book is not really a book per se. It's more like a collection of little short, um, it's almost like the Art of War. So if you ever read Sun Tzu, The Art of War, it's not really a book that starts at the beginning and goes to the end. It's like these little individual snippets and sonnets and little pieces that are throughout the book. So I've really enjoyed this. And this book came as a result of what book was I reading? I don't know if it was Embrace the Suck or if it's another one. Trying to think which other book I'm reading. But that's how I found Warrior of the Light, was through another book. Um, so and right now, so I just finished Embrace the Suck 2 weeks ago. So I got into The Leader's Greatest Return by John Maxwell. Well, John Maxwell, if you know, John Maxwell's been around for 185 years, and he's probably one of the four. I mean, I remember hearing John Maxwell speak at a church that I used to attend. Um, gosh, back in the early 2000s. Um, but John Maxwell has been one of the leaders at the forefront of leadership development since, gosh, probably the mid '80s, and worked mostly in Christian churches and in the beginning, and was very much focused on pastoral care, pastoral development, leadership development in church, and that's kind of how he got started. Well, 40 years of doing that, and he's learned a lot about how to develop leaders. And now the John Maxwell organization, they actually, gosh, they send me emails every single day trying to get me to join their program, to join their leadership program. But of course, this book was referenced by Lori Muller and Bob McKinnon, who Bob McKinnon's our leadership director of leadership development at Exit Realty Corporate, and so they both referenced this book. So I figured I'd start reading it. I'm a little bit through it. Well, in this book, John Maxwell references an author named Robin Sharma. Robin Sharma has written a bunch of books, and I mean, so some of the books that he's written, I was really intrigued by some of these titles. So he's written about 15 books, and listen to some of these titles. So if you've never heard of Robin Sharma, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're a reader. I've read 22 pages of this book. I read last night before I went to bed, and probably the first 10, 15 pages were some of the most amazing 10 or 15 pages I've ever read in my life. I'm just gonna tell you. And I wish honestly that I could read the whole 15 pages to you and keep you engaged in this, because the first 10 or 15 pages are the same things that I've been saying to you guys, the same thing Christine I've been saying to you guys for 3.5, 4 years. It's the same thing that a lot of our coaching program has done. I've never heard of this guy before. It's the same thing Christy and I's coaching program, our broker coaching program that we're putting together, and it's the same thing that's built around. It's the same thing. It's a universal truth that is now being exposed. But I want you to. We're going to talk about some of that. But let me read you some of these titles, because I'm telling you, if you're looking for a next book to get, you need to get a Robin Sharma book. The Monk, here are his titles: The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, The Greatness Guide, The Greatness Guide Book 2, The Leader Who Had No Title, Who Will Cry When You Die, Leadership Wisdom from the Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, Family Wisdom from the Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, Discover Your Destiny with the Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, The Secret Letters of the Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, The Mastery Manual, Little Black Book for Stunning Success, The Saint, The Surfer, and The CEO. And I think the Saint, reading the first 15 pages of this book, The Saint, The Surfer, and The CEO is an offshoot of this book that I'm reading right now. So this book is called The 5 a.m. Club. This book's called The 5 a.m. Club. And there's so many excerpts. I was reading this book last night saying, oh my God, I'm reading this. I'm going to talk about this in the morning. Oh my gosh, I'm going to talk about this in the morning. Oh my gosh, I'm going to talk about this in the morning. There's so many things in this book. I'm not sure I can find one particular thing to talk about. I'll try, and hopefully I'll have that miraculous directed to you the Bible bingo thing you play where you open it up, God, give me a word, you and you find the page and the verse, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is great. I'm going to try to give you the gist of what I read last night, because I think it's the same thing. It's, again, the same thing that we've been talking about for years, talking with you guys about, all of you that have, since you've been here, each of you have joined Exit Realty Lake Country. We talk about, for those of you that watch this later, maybe on YouTube or maybe on the Exit Realty Lake Country Nation page. These are things that we talk about at Exit Realty Lake Country constantly, because these are things that we talk about at Exit Realty. These are things that Steve Morris, when he had the vision to build Exit Realty and build this real estate company, it wasn't for the sake of building a real estate company. If you ever heard Bob McKinnon talk about the first time he met Steve Morris, they were at a real estate thing. Bob McKinnon, who is our lead director of leadership development, and I wish Bob would come on here. Maybe I'll get him wake up with us early one morning and be on our call. But Bob went to Steve, and if you've ever heard Bob speak, he tells this story almost at every broker owner training. Bob saw this exit thing. He saw this booth, this teal, this exit, all this stuff. Bob McKinnon was one of the founders of Century 21. Just so you know, our director of leadership development was one of the founders of Century 21. Okay, so he was part of the naming of Century 21. He was a part of the beginning of Century 21. Well, Bob sees this booth, walks up to Steve, and says, "Hey, man, what's this exit thing all about?" And Steve starts talking about exit. And so Bob, being from Century 21, having the background of Century 21, talking to Steve Morris, this guy from Canada, who's got this teal thing, this exit thing, this weird name, this thing on that everybody's, that's I'm certain was big and audacious. Bob McKinnon says, Steve, the world doesn't need another real estate company. And it's perfect. And this is how Bob tells it. In perfect Steve Morris form, Steve Morris retorts, "You're right, Bob. World doesn't need another real estate company, but it needs a better real estate company." And that was his response to Bob McKinnon. That's the reason that was the beginning of Bob McKinnon being at Exit Realty. Steve, the world doesn't even need another real estate company. You're right, Bob. The world doesn't need another real estate company. It needs a better one. Hello, Exit Realty. So when Steve Morris founded Exit Realty, it wasn't to build a real estate company. The real estate company is a platform to pour into people's lives. The real estate company is a platform. It allows Steve Morris to pour his heart through his real estate company into every single individual agent. Why do you think we do sponsoring? Why do you think every agent in this company has a connection to another agent? Because you can't pass what you have to someone else in mass recruiting. I can't recruit 30 or 40 or 50 at a time. I can't recruit 10, 15, 20 at a time and pass what I have to all 10, 15, or 20. But with sponsoring, we can connect to each individual person that comes into this company. Through sponsoring, you have a relationship with each individual person. And so each individual person that comes into this company, you're able to pour into them some of you. You're able to pour into them a piece of who you are. Like attracts like. We like you. We're probably gonna like them. We may not, but we probably will. Steve Morris is a genius. He was an absolute genius when he built this, and he built sponsoring and built this self-sustaining, this self-fulfilling machine of real estate. It was ingenious. Sponsoring is more than just bringing people into this company. Sponsoring is more than just growing exit. Sponsoring is the transfer, the transmutation of love and light and joy and happiness, one person to another. That's all it is. Sponsoring is relationship. And the same thing that you do if when you guys when Michelle, when you guys started going to Madison Nutrition, and the first time you went in there and bought an $8 drink, you paid your $8 and you got in and you were like, man, good gosh, this is expensive. And you got in the car, you took 2 or 3 sips, and you went, good gosh, this is good. And then the first thing you did was Alex asks you, where'd you get that? Madison Nutrition. Really? Is it good? Oh my gosh, it's delicious. Try it. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. Then Alex goes and buys $8 drinks. And then Heather sees it. And then everybody else sees it. And that's how that happens. One person to the next person to the next person to the next person. You give them a sip of a drink and they go, oh my gosh, I'll go buy an $8 drink. And now, after 6 or 8 months now, you've probably spent $300 in there buying $8 drinks because they're delicious. You think they're wonderful, right? Same thing with Starbucks. It was the exact same thing. It's the same thing with anything that grows to these monsters on this. Anything that scales up the way that some of these places scale up, it's done by word of mouth. It's done by person to person. It's done relationship by relationship. Why do you think these companies pay these athletes astronomical amounts of money to wear their brand? I mean, ridiculous amounts of money to wear their brand. Why they pay these college athletes? They give these Nike and Adidas and Under Armour give these college coaches millions and millions and millions of dollars for them to bring their brand in there because they know that those athletes wearing that brand is influential to other people. They know that their athlete wearing that brand is influential to other people. You wearing the Exit brand is influential to other people if you can continue to be in the community, if you can continue to do what you do, if you can continue to be out there and be the best version of you, and being out in the public space and being out there in the marketplace and being Exit, wearing Exit, doing Exit. People see that. They watch you on Facebook. That's the whole point of Facebook. That's the whole point of social media and having your Exit page and putting some real estate stuff on your personal page because people watch what you do. People need to see you living the Exit way. People need to see you doing the things that you do with your friends, just like Michelle and you guys do, Lynn and Anna, like y'all do with Carrie and all you guys have in these groups doing those things. You don't see that. You don't see it other places. Not on a consistent basis. I remember there was an agent, left our company, joined another company, and I remember seeing on social media, they had a group of them together, and it was a big deal. They had like 6 or 7 or 8 smiling faces. They're all right there having wine, and they're having their planning session. I've not seen another one. We're in August. That was probably in May or June. I see a lot of other things on social media. I see a lot of other things that are posted, but I don't see them getting together again. Because see, some real estate companies will get together for an awards event. Some real estate companies will get together for a once a year planning event. Some real estate companies will get together and do things when they're told to do it. You guys do it because it's who we are. You guys do it because at this company, our culture is everybody pulls the rope the same direction. Everybody drives the same direction. Everybody's helping each other get better, be better, do more. That's why we're doing this. Is because you guys all help each other. You guys all lift each other up. So when one person's down, you need to reach out to somebody at Exit Realty Lake Country. Y'all need to be out telling people the Exit Realty Lake Country story. Help Melissa at Surf Pro, who's involved in tons and tons of events, called us the other day and said, hey, I've got an agent who's down in Greensboro who may not be very happy, who may be looking for a change. You guys ought to give her a call. Michelle, you know who we're talking about. I hadn't talked to her yet. She hadn't returned any phone calls, which is not a good sign. So hopefully, Michelle, you're having good conversations with her. Um, but you got to have advocates. Okay, you got to have advocates. You got to have people out there in the marketplace, even in your individual real estate businesses. Can I tell y'all something? I haven't done this in 2 or 3 years, and I've been telling you to do this over and over and over again. And I've been saying this to y'all over and over and over again. Your past clients, you got to keep in touch with your past clients. You got to stay in touch with your past clients, the ones that you like, not the ones you don't like, not the ones that were a pain in your butt. But you got to stay in touch with them. Saturday morning, I went to the office, spent 3 hours writing handwritten cards, and I wrote handwritten cards for 3 hours straight, 3 hours, head down, stamping, writing, envelope, writing, stamping, envelope, knocking them out. Past clients, I'm going through all of my past clients and I'm sending them cards, every single one of them. Mailed a bunch out on Saturday morning. I'm telling y'all, you gotta have advocates. You have to have people in your corner who already know you, like you, trust you. Okay? You gotta have people in your corner who know you, like you, trust you, who are gonna be your advocates. That's what makes this thing grow. Melissa at ServPro is one of our advocates. Michelle brought her in. She's come into our company. She's heard Christy and I talk. She's seen how you guys are. She knows what this culture is all about. And now when an agent says, "Hey, I'm thinking I'm over here. I'm not getting what I need. I wish I was getting more." Melissa from ServPro says, "I know where you need to go. I know where you need to. I know who you need to talk to." She has no affiliation with us. She has no affiliation with our company. But y'all have made such an impression on her doing what you do and being Exit Realty Lake Country that she says, "I know where you need to go. Stop right there. 'Cause I'm going to tell you, this is where you ought to go." I'm seeing what they're doing. I've been involved in their meetings. I hear what they do. This is where you ought to go. That's pretty cool. Sorry for the slurp. That's pretty cool. Okay. But for us to continue to put that out there, for us to continue to be Exit Realty Lake Country, for you and us to continue to be the best versions of us, we got to fill ourselves. We got to fill ourselves. So here's what I'm gonna, and this is what I'm gonna turn to a couple of pages. You got to hear this. Let's see. I can't read it. Everybody good? Anybody got any comments? Here you go. This is one little. I'm gonna reach a couple of excerpts from this book because I'm telling y'all, this is one of the most fantastic 22 pages I've ever. I didn't want to put it down. I didn't want to put it down. Here you go. Phew, gosh, this is so good. All right, y'all plug in now. Sit down. Michelle. I know you got to go in a second, but I need y'all to listen to me. Just sit down here and plug in for just a second. No matter where you are on the pathway of your life, please don't let the pain of an imperfect past hinder the glory of your fabulous future. No matter where you are on the pathway of your life, please don't let the pain of an imperfect past hinder the glory of your fabulous future. You are so much more powerful than you may currently understand. Splendid victories and outright blessings are coming your way. And you're exactly where you need to be to receive the growth necessary for you to lead the unusually productive, extremely prodigious, and exceptionally influential life that you've earned through your harshest trials. Are you listening to this? Nothing is wrong at this moment, even if it feels like everything is falling apart. If you sense your life's a mess right now, this is simply because your fears are just a little stronger than your faith. If you feel like everything's falling apart right now, it's only because your fears are a little stronger than your faith. With practice, you can turn down the volume of the voice of your scared self. and increase the tone of your most triumphant side. The truth is, every challenging event you've experienced, each toxic person that you've encountered, and all the trials you've endured have been the perfect preparation to make you into the person you are now. Y'all, that's just a little bit. There are 20 pages of this. This I got chills. This I'm telling you right now, one of the most incredible first 22 pages I've ever read in a book in my entire life. Did you hear that? The truth is that every challenging event you've experienced, each toxic person that you've encountered, and all the trials you've endured have been the perfect preparation to make you into the person that you are right now. Everything that you've endured has set you up for right now. And right now, what the world needs is the best version of you. Right now, what the world needs is the best version of Anna, the best version of Michelle, the best version of Lynn, the best version of Carrie, the best version of everyone that's going to watch this later today. The world needs the best version of you. The world, your world, needs you to be the highest, best version of who you are. We've gotten into this world of we've been duped into believing that mediocrity is okay. We've been duped into believing that working 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, 40 years of our life to get a go watch at the end is success. We've been duped into believing that we go to school, we get a job, we get married, we have some kids, and that's how we live our life. We've been duped into believing that that's the way it ought to be. I'm telling you right now. Hang on. There's so much in this book. Hang on. There's one that I saw that I wanted you to hear. Here you go. Here's another little excerpt. I just found this. From a young age, we are programmed into thinking that moving through life, from a young age, we are programmed into thinking that moving through life loyal to the values of mastery, ingenuity, and decency should need little effort. And so if the road gets tough and requires some patience, we think we're on the wrong path. We've encouraged this culture of soft, weak, and delicate people who can't keep promises, who bail on commitments, and who quit on their aspirations the moment the smallest obstacles show up. Let me read that again. We've encouraged a culture of soft, weak, and delicate people who can't keep promises, who bail on commitments, and who quit on their aspirations the moment the smallest obstacle shows up. That sound familiar? Ever been in that spot? There's something I want to read to you. It's about the fiery edge of I gotta find that. Maybe I'll just save that for Mark. I can't find it right now. Okay. Steve Morris says, we all operate to the breadth and depth of our understanding about ourselves. And there's so much packed into that statement. You hear me talk all the time about my experience where I was a sales manager before, and I would train these salespeople. It was an awful sales job, but I would train these salespeople who were conditioned to think I mean, the only salespeople that stayed with this company, they were the dredges they were the bottom. We were scraping the bottom to find these people. And so they were so conditioned into not having, they were so conditioned into lack, they were so conditioned into to not ever having enough that they would self-sabotage. They would do things to themselves to prevent eclipsing the breadth and depth of their understanding of themselves. We do this. We know what we're capable of. It's based on the past. You know what you're capable of because you've done it before. And that's how you live your life. You've been duped into believing that if I just go through the same cycle this same thing, if I never try to push myself and I stay right here and I stay comfortable, then my life's going to be hunky dory. When the whole time you're doing that, there's this burning desire, this burning thing inside of you, this animal in this cage that wants to get out. And the world around you, your world, things that needs you to be the best version of you, needs that animal to get out. It needs the cage to open up. It needs you to jump out there and go tear up the street. Go tear up your community. Go tear up this real estate business. Go be that person. Why? Why? Why are you not number one? Why are you not number one in your market? Why is Glenda number one on TikTok? Why are you not Glenda? Glenda Baker, is that who that is? I know Donnie Baker, but I don't know if it's Glenda Baker. Why are you not that person? Why are you not number one in your market? Why are you not that one? It's not because of the market. It's not because Aaron and Christy. It's not because you work at Exit Realty. It's not because where you were born or what your birthday is or what you look like. It's because of you. And you alone. We've been duped into thinking that just going through our lives in this little box of comfort is okay. But if you're at this company, I promise you, I'm going to push you. Christy's going to push you. The way Heather Braswell said it, it'll be a soft furry boot, but there's going to be a boot in your butt because I know what every one of you are capable of. I know what every one of you are capable of. How we're going to be that light on the hill is because you guys individually are going to walk into your destiny because I'm going to help push you into that. I'm going to try to knock down some of those barriers. I'm going to try to take away some of your limitations. I'm going to try to make you, help you, assist you see past the boundaries of what you believe is possible. Because the book talks about this right there on the fiery edges, right there looking over the cliff, right there on the where the light and the dark meet, where the shadow starts and the light stops, right there, that's where the magic happens. When you start to push yourself, when you start to dedicate, I'm doing this and nothing, Anna, you're reading Embrace the Suck. When you decide this is what I'm doing, and nothing else is going to get in my way of what I'm doing. And everything else be damned because I'm going to do this. When you get that kind of dedication, when you get that is champion dedication, that is champion focus. That's Black Mamba mentality. That's Michael Jordan on his road to 6 championships. That's what that is. That's what champions do. And I'm asking everybody on this call to be a champion. I'm asking every one of you to find that Black Mamba champion mindset where you set your mind on something, you set yourself a goal, and everything else be damned. I'm going to do this. Completely focused, completely dedicated, sold out, going to do it. That's what I'm looking for. Every one of you have it. And I just got to get in there and mine that out. I get in there and hammer and chisel that out. Michelangelo talks about David was always in that stone. I just had to find him. Isn't that crazy? David was already in that block of stone. I just had to find him. That champion's already in you. I just got to find it. I got to tap into it. I got to put you in the right positions to go be a champion. I got to get you to the edge of where the light and the dark meet. I've got to get you to the edge, those fiery edges of the breadth and depth of your understanding about yourself. And I got to help you understand and help you know, help you realize it ain't going to kill you. Push. It's not going to hurt you. Take one more step. Crawl 12 more inches. Make 3 more phone calls. Get up at 5 a.m. Go exercise. Go be a leader in that organization. Put yourself out there. That's my job in your life. My job in your life is to almost be like a shaman and direct you, or a Sherpa, and direct you up the mountain. We're all doing it together. I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to figure out things about myself right now. I'm trying to figure out what are the boundaries for me? What is my breadth and depth of the understanding? What do I realize about me? How far am I willing to push? How hard am I willing to go? I'm trying to figure that out myself, because I've been able to push myself pretty far. One thing that I'll say is I'm never ever ever going to give up. I told y'all I'm not. If you fight me, you're fighting me for days. And even if you beat me up, I'll never forget this. Man, I had a high school football coach, Mike Tribune. I'll never forget this ever in my life. Mike Tribune was my running backs coach. I was running back in high school, and he was so intense. He was so unbelievably intense. This was in the days where coaches would grab you by the face mask. And I remember I'd done something on a Friday night, went back to the sidelines, and he comes up and grabs my face mask and just screams at me, just shaking my head, shaking my face mask, screaming at me. Everybody in the stands heard it. My dad heard it. He talked about it after the game. I mean, and he would do it in practice. If I did something stupid, he'd grab me by the face mask, pull me over, and scream at me through my face mask. But Mike Tribune taught me something, and something that stuck with me, and I don't know why, but this is something I've always remembered. He said, "You may not like me, and you may want to kick my ass, and you very well may kick my ass that day. But tomorrow, you better be looking for me, because I'm coming to find you. And you may whip my ass that day. And if you do, you better look out for me the next day, because I'm going to keep coming until I whip your ass." And I've never forgotten that. And I'm telling you, that's the way I've lived my life. You might knock me down. You might push me out. You might hurt me. But I promise you, I'm coming back the next day. And you might get me again. I'm coming back the next day. I'm not ever going to quit. I'm not ever going to stop. I'm not ever going to give up. And if I can give that to y'all, if I can give that to you, if I can help you understand that there ain't no give up, there ain't no stop in you. And no matter what you do, you're going to continue to push on. You're going to continue to drive on. You're going to continue to do what you got to do to be the best version of you, to take over your market, to take over what. Hey, what are you looking for, buddy? Huh? What are you looking for? The speaker? Got there in the garage. Sorry, my kids want to work out before school. Whatever it is you need to do, whatever it is, wherever it is you need to go, whoever it is you need to influence, y'all gotta get some never quit in you. You gotta get some of that determination in you, some of that dog in you, some of that thing in you that's never, ever, 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 ever gonna stop. To hear Lynn talk about it, to hear Anna talk about it, the reason Lynn's here because Anna wouldn't shut the hell up about exit. Okay, Lynn Grizzle, if you're still on here, and I hope you are. I don't know how many people are on here still, but Lynn, I hope you are on here. And if you are, do you feel like you feel like you made the best decision at the time to join Exit Realty? I hope you're still on here, because I don't want to ask a question to dead air and set you out and you not be here. So Lynn, if you're on here, do you feel like that you made the best decision to join Exit Realty, Lake Country? Please be on here. She may not be here anymore. She may have walked away from the phone. Ask Lynn. Ask Lynn Grizzle if Anna Davis. Ask Lynn how she got here, and she'll tell you that Anna Davis worried the piss out of her to come to Exit Realty Lake Country. But if you talk to Lynn Grizzle, She'll also say, and I believe she'll say this, best decision she could have made. Some of you get afraid of worrying the piss out of people. Some of you get afraid that you're going to be a bother. Some of you get afraid, and the voice, that scared voice, gets louder than your leader voice. The scared voice gets louder than your faith voice. Your scared voice is louder than the accomplishment voice. And so you let that scared voice rule. And so you don't call them again. You don't talk to them again. You don't reach out to them again. You don't share with them again. You don't share with them again. You don't share with them again. Sorry, I had a FaceTime call. So there's Lynn. Lynn says, I'm here. It's been the best decision I made. I love my exit family because Anna worried the piss out of her. Okay. There are people out there that you need to worry the piss out of. There are people out there that you need to jump on and get on and stay on. There are things that you need to do that you need to get on, jump on, and stay on. There are phone calls, and there are prospecting, and there's sponsoring, and there is listings you need to jump on, get on, stay on. Some of you need to jump on, get on, stay on, have that dogged determination that no matter what, you're not giving up. Because right there at the fiery edges of your understanding of you, right there at the edge of what you understand you're capable of, that's where the magic happens. Because as soon as you figure out you're capable of so much more, as soon as you figure out that you're not mediocre, that you're a champion, as soon as you get your mindset on the fact that you're a champion and you're not mediocre, we'll have 57 people, 62 people, 78 people walk across that stage at the exit convention, all getting awards. That's what'll happen. But you got to figure out and you've got to understand you're not mediocre, and that the mediocre, that it's just a myth. It's a lie. That there's nothing mediocre about you. You were created with something special in you. You were created with a spark in you, a spark that has to be ignited and turned into a flame so that you can consume and burn and be a light and take over the world around you. You're in the perfect spot to do that. You're in the perfect spot to do that. You've been through so much. You've endured all the things that you've endured to get to this place right here. Are you ready to get ignited? Are you ready to share this with somebody else? Are you ready to bring somebody into Exit Realty Lake Country and transform their lives? Man, I'm so excited about the end of this year. I'm so excited about where we're going. I'm excited about this book. I'm excited about what it's going to do to me. I'm excited about what I'm going to be able to do for you guys, how we're going to grow as a company. I'm so excited. Tomorrow we'll go at 5:30. Okay, or 6:30. I'll make sure that we're going at 6:30 tomorrow as we get into school and people got to get off here and take their kids to school. I'll make sure we're going at 6:30. Okay. Again, Robin Sharma, the 5 a.m. Club. It comes in 2 books actually. So this was 2 books for $19. This one is the Everyday Hero Manifesto, which I'm looking forward to reading this one as well. They smell like a basement, but I'm super excited about reading them. So the Everyday Hero Manifesto, and the 5 a.m. Club, 2 great books that I'm going to read. So, 8 a.m. Bailey is way too late, man. We gotta. We're gonna turn over a new leaf. You'll need to be up at 5:30, doing some meditation, doing some praying, doing some quiet time, writing your affirmations. Imagine if you got up and you did your affirmations, did all that before the call. I'm telling you, it'd be like the little green book in Madison. There would be, you do your affirmations, and you'd be here and be rocking, and there'd be something that was said in here that'd be like dead on with what you're doing. So we've been here an hour. I've got to get off the call. I've got to tell Carson and Zeke. They just tried to FaceTime me. I got to make sure I tell them happy first day of school and I love them, and we'll see them in a little bit. So I love y'all. Bailey, sorry you got here late, but you can watch this later. Love y'all. I really, really do. There's so many great things that are coming. There's so many fantastic things that Realty Lake Country is about to do that you guys are a part of. There's so many lives that we're about to change as we continue to grow and expand. and continue to build our footprint in Georgia and also in Tennessee. There's just we're spreading some cool stuff right now. So love y'all, mean it. Be good, be great, be you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.